Perspective on the bloody government crackdown in Syria. New video has been leaked and appears to show the violence from the point of view of the snipers opening fire on the already devastated city of Homs. Remember, the Syrian government has said time and time again there is no armed conflict. Really? Take a look.
روح يا عمي فادي يا عمي فادي عمي فادي هيا روح عطيه تمام الحكي تمام الحكي تمام.
We don't know exactly who leaked this video, and CNN has not confirmed what it's showing. But the pictures, again, seem to tell a very different story than Syria's official line. Just yesterday, remember, Syria's ambassador to the United Nations insisted there is no war. He said, no armed conflict. The opposition tells a different story, saying at least 61 more people killed just today. And sadly, it could be about to get even worse. CNN's Arwa Damon joins us on the phone now. She is near Homs tonight. Arwa, there are reports a major new onslaught could be coming. What are you hearing about that?
Yeah, it most certainly seems, at least based to what we have been hearing from various sources, that the Syrian military is trying to beef up its presence, especially around that flashpoint neighborhood of Baba Ahmed. I can tell you residents inside are bracing themselves for the worst. And one also has to remember that when we say they're bracing themselves for the worst, they have also just entered the 14th day straight of intense shelling by Syrian security forces. The intensity, the level of the shelling that was taking place throughout the day today was quite simply some of the heaviest that we have seen since we were actually inside the city just a few days ago. Numbers of casualties were being rushed to the field hospital, and most of the residents are trying to keep themselves safe, but they keep struggling just to be able to do that. Inside bunkers, you have women, children, men, all of them that grab at you, wanting to tell you some sort of story about a loved one who died. Food supplies are running incredibly low. We met with the head of the humanitarian office there. This, again, newly set up in the last few months to try to deal with this ongoing crisis. And he was saying that they had not received food supplies for 3 weeks into the neighborhood, John. And another week is that people are going to begin to starve to death. And everyone's great concern, though, is, as you mentioned there, that potentially imminent military operation. They've already suffered, as I was saying, 14 days of constant shelling, and now they are dreading the moment that Syrian security forces are going to come through in a full force, sweep the entire neighborhood, and effectively massacre everybody.
And Arwa, you mentioned food is in short supply. Medical supplies are almost non-existent, and there's this threat of an onslaught. If the Syrian military comes through, how deep of a humanitarian crisis, and is there anything to fight back? Is there any organized force to fight back?
There's only certain roads that we can take.
You know, John, the humanitarian crisis, I mean, it is on the verge of being a complete and total disaster. Food supplies are running down, medical supplies, incredibly hard to come by. Getting those types of things in involves a fairly elaborate smuggling network to try to bypass government checkpoints. But even when they do try to bring those sorts of things in via those routes, they're not able to bring in the quantities that they need. There are consistently, on a regular basis, people at these makeshift medical clinics inside the city, especially in Baba Ahmed, who are dying quite simply because they're unable to get the care that they need. When it comes to the capabilities of the Free Syrian Army, this is very much a one-sided war. So what they have at their disposal, AK-47s, rocket-propelled grenades at best, and a lot of courage and determination. But when faced with what the Syrian government has in terms of artillery, tanks, armor, they're really absolutely no match whatsoever, which is exactly why we've been hearing this consistent call for international intervention, and people are quite simply unable to fathom how it is that the international community has been watching what they're going through and is somehow unable able to unite and take concrete action. You know, as one female medic put it to us when we were speaking to her in the hospital, when she was standing at the foot of a bed of a colleague who later on died, she said, look, these are human beings. We're not talking about stone here. This is flesh and blood. How many Syrians have to die? What is that magic number that's going to force people to do something to stop this bloodshed?